Hey guys, if there's anything you should know about me, it's that I love Batman. So I'm really excited that I have this 1-to-1 scale 1989 Batman Michael Keaton Cowl replica. It's a mouthful, but it's so cool. It just came in the mail just the other day, and I'm really excited about this. I'm not 100% sure if it's wearable or not, so we're gonna take a look at that. We're gonna take a look at the box, the replica itself, as well as how it looks alongside with the NECA replica belt, because I'm actually really surprised that McFarlane has the rights to do this, because I thought most of the replicas were gonna be done by NECA, but here we are. Also, if I'm not saying NECA right, let me know. That's always just how I've heard it in my head. Otherwise, stick around and we're gonna get right into it. Okay, so here is the box, and this is just so gigantic. I have to pull back really far. The camera that I'm using usually is actually sitting right here, right where my fist is, and we're about a foot away from where that is right now. So that just shows you just how big this thing is. I'm also gonna post some pictures of this on my Instagram, so follow me there if you aren't already. Otherwise, this is huge. I don't know if there's a lot to say about the front side. So let's take a look at the side. And I guess I gotta pull out a little bit more so you can get a better view of that. So there's the side, there's the other side, looks exactly the same. And here's the back. And I think it's really cool that they're using this image for the back side of it, just because it's just so different. Like, we don't need to see another product shot of it. And so getting this image straight from the movie and in black and white is just a really cool touch. I like that a lot. And what's really interesting about just this image in particular is that you can actually even see kind of where the body armor for the costume was. And you can even kind of see like right here where the belt is probably supposed to cover that line for the lower half of the costume. It's actually really interesting. I've never seen that before, so that's really cool. Here is the top and the bottom. Otherwise, that's the gist of it, so let's open it up and see what we have. Okay, so besides the cowl itself, here are all the pieces that came inside of the box. We have some pretty straightforward instructions here. We're gonna just click everything in, and then the cowl itself will just sit on top of that. So here is our base. It's got a nice Batman 1989 right here. It is painted on, not embossed in any kind of way, so that's kind of a bummer considering this thing is $100. But at least it looks nice. The base itself has a kind of metallic kind of look, kind of like what you saw in the Batcave. It's just like not fully finished in a sense as it's finishing, which is fine. Otherwise, the bottom, very straightforward, just plastic bits. The pieces that hold in the cowl appear to be exactly the same, so nothing really special there. And let's go ahead and plug them in. Here is the cowl itself. And there is the Batman 1989 cowl, and that looks really cool. Unfortunately, it is not something that can be worn. I did look, the bottom side doesn't have any kind of way to get into it. As you can see from the bottom, it is definitely like, this is a piece that's put in and glued in, but even if you removed it, there's probably just gonna be no way to get your head in there. So you'd have to still cut out bits of that. It does seem like this whole thing going around might be something that could be pulled out. I don't know if I want to try that, especially for something that cost me $100, which I don't even know if I'm going to keep this or not. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Otherwise, the details of it look really nice. I think it's a really good job. Just all of the angles that you're expecting to see. I kind of felt like that the pointed ears would be a little bit sharper in a sense, but at the same time, I mean, the suit was, you know, like rubber or a rubber-like material, so I don't know how like pointed they could have made it without it like flapping around a whole bunch either. Paint job is pretty straightforward because it is black. However, I don't know if you can see it, but right here you can kind of see that, I don't know if that's like smudging, something that needs to be cleaned off. It seems like it's kind of going away if I keep rubbing at it, so that's okay, I guess. Here's our backside. Really nothing, not a lot to see. There's not a lot of detail on that. And otherwise, it looks cool. So what's interesting is that the mold, it does seem like it was molded off something like legitimate, like maybe it was molded off of a real cowl from the movie or something, because I don't know if you can see it, but like the way the lines are, the molding is, like, it's not exact on both sides. And usually you would think with something that was just like computer designed that it would just be perfect on both sides, right? But it's not quite like that. At least not to me. It does seem like there's a little bit more to it than that. I don't know how well it comes off, but I'm trying to show you the inside of the cowl and how it looks inside of there. And if you can see, it's like really bumpy in there, which is really interesting. And that's probably from the molding of them like popping it off the mold and stuff like that. And then you can see kind of like the paint running down as they probably sprayed it inside. I think the only problem with this in terms of it being a replica is that I'm pretty sure that the original costume, that even his under his nose is supposed to be covered, which I always thought was weird, but I'm pretty sure that that's true. And if that is true, I'll put up a picture just to confirm it. Otherwise, I will possibly cut this part of the video out. Now, the other major replica that we have is his belt from NECA Toys. And I do obviously have that because I'm a huge Batman nerd. Now, unfortunately, I was trying to get this to just kind of wrap around and use that as kind of a display. If you watch my review, the problem with the belt is that it's not really designed to be worn by normal human beings. While it is designed to actually be worn, like the parts will pop out. You can see that it's not gonna close in very well. Just like that, you can see that that whole piece just popped right off. So that means that you can't even really display this as one whole like Batman kind of thing. You would still have to keep the belt in its own separate display, which if that's what you wanted to do in the first place, that's fine. But if you're a collector with limited space, like many collectors are, then you kind of want to consolidate in a meaningful way. But this unfortunately will not be something that you can necessarily display together. I mean, maybe if you put this on some kind of riser, then you could put this immediately below it. Or if you wanted to just keep it side by side, you could have the belt here, and then you could have the batarangs and the grapple gun right there. That's a way to do it too. Otherwise, let me know what you guys think in the comments on if you think this is worth the $100 that it cost. And if you want to see this review, then check that out right here.